Namaste, Justice
Namaste, sir.
Chandru. Welcome. Thank you for accepting the interview. Sir, I will bring two statements to your view with all your long experience. One is by former CJ Ranjan Gogoi in his autobiography we are referring to, wherein he mentioned that the Collegium doesn't want to confront with the government and make recommendations against their bill. Second statement is by Kiran Rijiju, concerned minister, recently in Rajya Sabha concluding the debate that government had a right not to take judges, appoint judges or finalize judges who it feels are unfit. How do you see this
See, when the
clash?
BJP government brought National Judicial Appointment Commission, it was struck down only on the ground that the executive will have more say in the consultative committee. Now, when it's struck down, the parliament can again amend it. Brought an amendment in tune with the judgment, they can do it. But why they are not bringing? Because collegium system suits even the BJP.
Yes.
They can push their candidate.
Okay.
Each one take one.
Okay.
You have one, I'll have one. So there are so many Sanghis have come into the judiciary through this back door.
Mutual accommodation,
Yes.
I mean to say.
And therefore, now the question is why you have not brought an amendment. What we are saying is there should not be ad hoc system. There should be a permanent appointment system. And nowhere in the world judges are appointing themselves
Okay.
like a old boys association. Two people will say that you could answer. That's not correct.
Okay.
And there is a lot of lack of transparency.
Yeah.
Why X comes? Why Y was not there? Therefore, this transparency is part of democracy. And highest appointment, you can't have a darkest pictures. That's very wrong.
Justice Chandru, this recently much is said about arbitration and mediation. And Hyderabad tomorrow is going to have National Arbitration Center. Much is said about it. In this era of corporatization and highly privatization, how people have to view this?
See, there are
This is not governed by any constitutional.
Civil Procedure Code has been amended to provide for alternative dispute resolution.
Okay.
Section 89.
Okay.
It provides for arbitration, mediation, conciliation, settlement, everything it provides for.
Okay.
Now, when our civil courts are taking its own time, some of the corporate group wants early settlement. So they look for alternative dispute as a method of solving their dispute. But that cannot solve the fundamental question of pendency of hundreds and thousands of cases.
Yeah.
Therefore, while you can have alternative dispute, but you can also have to find out why the normal cases are getting delayed.
Okay.
It is because of the delay they go to some other forum. If you avoid delay, then why will they go and spend more money?
But then what is the secret of your solving 96,000 cases so speedily?
That is, when I took office of a judgeship, I found there were 6 lakh cases pending in the High Court.
Okay.
So why we were appointed is that we should also dispose of this matter. So I was innovating my own ways.
Okay.
How to group matters, how to work longer, how to reduce hearing time, how to stop adjournments, how to dispose of listed matters on the day not adjourn.
Okay.
So there are several things we took. Actually, Justice Kapadi has said, every judge must work like a horse, live like a hermit. So I was following that.
You running like a horse.
Work like a horse.
Working like a horse. Working is basically.
You work like a horse and live like a hermit.
Okay. Okay.
That I did.
Okay.
Therefore I disposed of.
But then he refused laurels for that.
Lawyers are only intermediary. Litigants are, our constituency is the litigants. We should satisfy them. How many letters I used to get, their case are pending, please hear the matter. So when we decide to quicken the process of disposal, we are in a way helping a larger society, not the lawyers. Lawyers are only a licensed holder to appear for the litigant. But the real person is the litigant. Today the litigants are all praising, therefore there is no grievance.
Okay.
Whether it's government or anybody, nobody wants matters to be in court dockets. Nobody wants court storehouses, their cases. They want some result, good or bad, results should be known. I think people are entitled to get early verdict.
Sir, before concluding, recently some recommendation came that Supreme Court should be less burdened. So 4 more kind of courts are to be these things.
I have also written
will
an
it
article
undermine? Will it not?
No, I have written an article
Yes.
in,
Yes.
that Attorney General opinion is wrong.
Mm.
Supreme Court cannot be allowed to be split by Court of Appeal and Constitutional Court. It should be a single court. Then what will happen is, like Pakistan had an experiment, and Pakistan Chief Justice Sajjad Ali Shah, he has written a biography. In that he says this will be misused by the executive. And the Chief Justice, if he is colluding with the executive, he will put people who are very sharp in the Court of Appeal.
Yeah.
And put duds here to say yes to the government. So this is very wrong experiment. A country like ours should have a monolith institution. It should not be split at all.
Yeah. 3 things are actually agitating minds of the people. One thing is that major cases like Kashmir and many other things, that they are just pending, 370, etc., etc. Several other things are taken sumoto, and things are, judgments are, orders, far-reaching orders are given. And what is the solution? Second thing is, again, because he only recent CJI, Ranjan Gogoi said, I was terribly afraid whether I could deliver the judgment in Ayodhya on the day itself, or you see, justice is same whether whoever is the CJI.
One is that for delivering judgment we need not be afraid, but one thing is that
No, he thought that he may be disturbed.
The question will be slightly different. If you are going to have such a monolith institution, should you not deliver goods? There are more important pressing problems like Kashmir, Citizenship Amendment Act. Several issues are before you. Why don't you take up those issues, which has a wider ramification, rather than some cosmetic disposal? This is a demand everybody is facing, because we require decisions on constitutional matters first and individual cases later. But one did not be at the cost of other. A delayed justice is a denied justice.
As we were talking from media and social media questions are very seriously nowadays debated, right from that Bombay Arnab Goswami Republican TV to the social media posting, CBI entering into that in even Telangana. In Telangana also it happened. Tamil Nadu also it happened. So what is the kind of protection to media and also right to freedom of expression, and also
one is to improve the standard of values of the people.
Okay.
That's the most important. That when you have a responsibility in posting a matter, it should not become a public convenience wall where you can scurrilous writing can be there. It should be more responsive. But if you try to say it should control, then it may damage the very purpose of freedom given to social media.
Okay. So social media or media curtailing them or their rights is not.
See, curtailment will come only when individuals operate.
Okay.
Today every political party operates a social media wing, where they are also having trawlers, they are also spreading stories, which is that should be stopped. That paid trawlers, where paid news, like that there are paid trawlers, that should be stopped.
Okay.
The social media should not be manipulated by political parties.
Okay.
And the ruling party should not be allowed to have such false news planted.
But in 2013-14 election, social media actually played a bigger role. Nowadays,
even today it makes a big role. In smaller issues, ministers are simply acting because there is some criticism. But it should be developed as a friend, philosopher and guide. On the other hand, it is thought to be manipulated by paid agents.
So social media should be encouraged, but at the same time balanced. You mean to say?
No, not by any law. But the societal change should come.
That's a long.
For example, in a newspaper, there is an editor who will see to it nothing wrong will goes in. Like that, social media doesn't have anybody. So you should have social leaders, and once the political party steps out, there may be leaders who will emerge to have their own ideas.
You may be watching this Twitter and all these international these aggregators and this media giants, social media giants. They are also having this kind of
that should be discussed and decided. That should be discussed and decided. I don't think 90% of the people are good only, but when you have a paid element come in, then it becomes a problem.
Paid news has widened. The challenge of paid news has widened, and it is affecting judiciary also. Present Supreme Court takes very serious view of this thing. How do you look at it?
That is what I was saying, that there are two things. When 66A was struck down by a bench comprising of Chalameswar and another judge, they were very much worried about the right of expression.
Yes.
So they said it's a vague law, you will be punishing. But then now what they do, they have a spyware, they have a intelligence monitoring, they have a private attack against social media posts. So these are the things which are done outside the law. That is more dangerous.
Okay.
The courts have played a very good role in striking down in many states. They are still arresting people under 66A.
Yeah.
Notwithstanding, it has gone away from the statute book. So this is something which tolerance to criticism that should be developed.
Okay.
The leaders should become more thick-skinned.
Okay. From both sides, from all sides. That is the essence of spirit of democracy. Justice Chandru, thank you very much that you
Thank you,
have
sir. Thank
explained
you.
so many things, and people still adore you and expect much from you in the area of judiciary, where a lot of stress and strain are going on, particularly Telugu lands. And
These are all only momentary.
momentary. Yeah.
Only good things will finally win.
Yeah.
Bad things will be lost.
That's right. Thank you.